Luther's Small Catechism with Explanation, the Black and Maroon edition, copyright 2017, from Concordia Publishing House. The Eighth Commandment. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. What does this mean? We should fear and love God so that we do not tell lies about our neighbor, betray him, slander him, or hurt his reputation, but defend him, speak well of him, and explain everything in the kindest way. Question 84a of the Eighth Commandment. How do we fear and love God in keeping the Eighth Commandment? We fear and love God by not speaking about others in ways that harm them. Harmful speech includes A, telling lies about our neighbors in everyday life or in a court of law. 248, Matthew 26, 59-61. Now the chief priests and the whole council were seeking false testimony against Jesus, that they might put him to death. But they found none, though many false witnesses came forward. At last, two came forward and said, "This man said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and to rebuild it in 3 days." 249, Colossians 3:9. Do not lie to one another, seeing that you have put off the old self with its practices. Read 1 Kings 21:13 about false testimony against Naboth. In 2 Kings 5:19-27, Gehazi tried to profit from a lie. 1 Kings 21:13. And the two worthless men came in and sat opposite him. And the worthless men brought a charge against Naboth in the presence of the people, saying, Naboth cursed God and the king. So they took him outside the city and stoned him to death with stones. 2 Kings 5:19-27. He said to him, Go in peace. But when Naaman had gone from him a short distance, Gehazi, the servant of Elijah, the man of God, said, See, my master has spared this Naaman the Syrian in not accepting from his hand what he brought. As the Lord lives, I will run after him and get something from him. So Gehazi followed Naaman, and when Naaman saw someone running after him, he got down from the chariot to meet him and said, Is all well? And he said, All is well. My master has sent me to say, There have just now come to me from the hill country of Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Please give them a talent of silver and 2 changes of clothing. And Naaman said, Be pleased to accept 2 talents. And he urged him, and tied up 2 talents of silver in 2 bags, with 2 changes of clothing, and laid them on 2 of his servants. And they carried them before Gehazi. And when he came to the hill, he took them from their hand, and put them in the house. And he sent the men away, and they departed. He went in and stood before his master, and Elisha said to him, Where have you been, Gehazi? And he said, Your servant went nowhere. But he said to him, Did not my heart go when the man turned from his chariot to meet you? Was it a time to accept money and garments, olive oil and orchards, sheep and oxen, male servants and female servants? Therefore the leprosy of Naaman shall cling to you and to your descendants forever. So he went out from his presence a leper, like snow. What does this mean? In this commandment, there is an element that's pretty obvious of lying directly about things. So I lie to get something, or to very overt. My neighbor is a scoundrel and I hate him, and so you should take him away, or something like that. That we can kind of see. But there's also the subtle lie that we need to be aware of with this commandment. And I find myself falling into this trap in the Seventh Commandment quite often, is that I try to reason of why my lie might be good, and then I fool the person I'm lying to, and I fool myself, and I fool others. And this is a common practice, so it's not just a one-off, if you would. But what happens is that you go to your boss and you want something from your boss, but you don't think your boss is going to give it to you right away. So what you do is you give them something reasonable, but it's really a lie. It's really not true. And the boss goes, well, that seems reasonable. Of course, I'll do that. You're not being upright and honest about it. You get something from your boss. You kind of do a white lie. Now, then the next thing that happens, and you see this in the Bible passage, also in the VeggieTales rumor read, where then the lie catches up to you, and then you're asked by your boss, well, did you use this for what you asked for? And then you lie about it. Then you cover up the lie and say, oh, no, I did everything right. And it catches up with you. So just to be aware, this type of lying is very common in our society. It's kind of a justified lie, or white lie, if you would. And the way to solve this is, one, to watch your tongue. Watch what you say. Think about what you say before it comes out of your mouth. The next is that try to be as honest as possible. Now, granted, we are speaking the truth in love, so we're not being honest to hurt or defame our neighbor, but to speak the truth of, hey, if you're wanting something, just tell them straight up. Just let the cards fall and say, this is what I'm wondering about it. Can you do this? And be okay with a negative response. I think that's another thing with lies. Oftentimes, we're not okay with a negative response. So we want what is we think is best, we justify it in our minds, and then we lie and we cover it up. And so if we say, hey, I'm going to come to my boss, I'm going to come to my friend, I'm going to come to my child, I'm going to come to my parent, and I'm going to lay it out on the line and say, this is what I would like, or this is something that I think is good. What do you think? And then you give them the opportunity to respond, and then you're honest with the response afterwards. You're not trying to cover something up. You let them know, like, hey, I did this. It's a form of accountability. So be aware. This is something that I think we as a society do often, and especially social media is very poor with this. I think we've learned this as kind of a bad habit as children. And so as we teach our children, help them to understand what good, honest speaking is, especially not only for themselves, but also helping their neighbor. The Lord bless your day as well as your week.